agency, Deshaun Watson, those trades.
Let's start with that though, because so he's not being charged criminally. So now it's like that. Now it's like all the teams are just racing to put together packages type of deal. Right?
That's what it seems like. So yeah, so he's not being charged criminally. It's pretty much just those judges. It wasn't a consensus. But it was just like a majority vote or whatever. And so I guess there just wasn't enough evidence there to be able to charge him. But I believe he's still being sued from a civil standpoint.
Yeah, so probably payouts and whatnot.
I was sitting there talking with this about a friend. So honestly, like the team that makes the most sense, and I think that would really won. It's a need there. And they have enough talent elsewhere. They just need that quarterback. And then one, I think it's a good fit for him just because of the coach and everything that's there, would be the Steelers to me.
That would be cool. Yeah, because they got a great D, good offensive line, a couple good
everything
weapons.
Everything is there. You got a pretty good running back. You got receivers. You just need a quarterback.
Mm-hmm. And I think they said the Panthers are going to put like an aggressive offer out there.
Yeah, I saw that the Panthers are going to put something. I hope he doesn't. I don't know. I don't know how confident I would be the fact that like Christian McCaffrey's going to be there.
No, exactly. You have no idea what's going on with that squad. I didn't think about the Steelers, but I'd agree with you. I think that would be a better fit. Like all the pieces are there. You're right. That's almost like a plug and play.
You can probably go to Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
That's an option now that Russ isn't there.
I think we might see a lot of quarterback movement this offseason, being that it seems like it's not a very quarterback heavy draft, So
for sure. I mean, think how dangerous it would be if he went to the Colts.
Yeah, him and Jonathan Taylor. That'd be a crazy duo. That option. That option would be crazy.
It would be just nasty. I mean, granted, I don't think that it would make sense for the Texans to send him send him somewhere else in your own division.
Mm-hmm.
But that mixing with the Colts would be nasty.
Well, what do you think? Do you think it's going to be like some huge haul for him, even though like there's baggage, or are people going to get like a discount on him?
I think with this with the criminal side of things kind of clearing up some, I mean, his stock is still really super high.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to be a huge haul, but I think it'd be somewhat decent.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we'll look at it and be like, that was for nothing. Like, I'm sure they'll have to give up like multiple picks and like a good amount of stuff. I did read though, and they were like, be aware that, or every team trying to trade for him is aware that the NFL can still suspend him for conduct, so we don't know what's going to happen with that. But
yeah,
I don't know. So, Steelers would be cool. I'm with you there.
It just makes the most for me. I think it just makes the most sense. And the thing from a maturity level and just him with Mike Tomlin, it will get him to where he's not putting himself in those situations.
What about the Bucks? Do you think they'd make a play for him?
That would be a nice move.
They got a lot of pieces, so I'm sure
they got a shit ton of pieces.
And
it might entice Gronk to come back.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very
so. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad move. I mean, these veteran guys are really going to have a chance to really try to make some money and give a chance at a starting role. You got Trubisky that's going to have an opportunity. Jameis is going to have an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these guys are going to really get a chance to kind of,
start over,
bring their stock back up,
like Carson Wentz. What's your thought on that? That's pretty crazy.
I get why they did it. It's an upgrade.
It's definitely an upgrade. I just I don't know. What's your take on Carson Wentz now since we've got another season gone? Because I mean, I think we can all agree he's very talented. I'm just to the point with him now where I'm like, I have no confidence that in the biggest moments he's not going to throw some crazy stupid picks.
Yeah, I think that because you cannot lose that game
to
the Jags. Like, come on, man. So I think it's not that he's not a good quarterback. It's just now coming to a point to you're finding out he's not a clutch quarterback.
No, exactly.
And that's I think where it's like, okay, well maybe if we can just turn him into a game manager, right? So, yeah. Where do you think Garoppolo will end up going?
Is he a free agent?
He is not a free agent.
Because I know there's talks. I just was wondering. I don't know because I'm on your boat that I think at this point the 49ers need to just like go with Trey Lance like fully because you've seen the ceiling that Jimmy G's going to give you.
If they find somewhere, this is what I don't know if they would do this or not, but if he signed somewhere else, I would, if I was the Niners, try to get Marcus Mariota as your backup.
Okay. Yeah. And then what? So you're saying trade Jimmy G, move up Trey Lance, and have Marcus Mariota as their backup? Okay. Yeah. Because he's a free agent this year, right?
Yeah, he is.
Did he play last year?
A little bit, not at the time, but he's still young. He's know how to play the job, and I think he would make a lot of sense as far as just a good backup.
I don't know as far as Jimmy G though, like it would, because I think it would have to be a team that's solid all around offensively, and they're still looking for that same style for him to play that he was playing in San Francisco, as far as just a game manager that's not gonna turn the ball over and run the offense.
I mean, maybe he ends up going. Maybe he goes to the Colts.
He would be better. I think that's exactly kind of what the Colts are missing, was like a solid quarterback that wouldn't fuck up. I mean, we have seen you said it too though in the play. We've seen Jimmy G do it too, just throw some like costly picks,
Yeah, he has. He definitely has. But at least he gets them there.
I was about to say he seems to elevate his teams to higher success than Wentz does though. We haven't seen any playoff success from Wentz. So yeah.
Nope.
I don't know. I hope Debo gets a bag. That dude.
He has to.
That guy is insane.
He has to, man. That dude has to definitely get a bag. Yeah. What do you think about what Khalil Mack going to the Chargers?
They're stacked now, bro.
They're
stacked.
That division.
Yeah, it's gonna be must see.
Insane, bro.
Must see.
You got the Broncos, the Chiefs, Chargers, and the Raiders, bro. Now, and will Russell Wilson be? Come on,
you're so right.
You're Derek Carr. You immediately become the worst quarterback in that conference or in that division.
Exactly. I think the Raiders are like a hit or miss team. They were borderline playoff last year, obviously, but so that's a solid team. Chiefs, obviously, like a perennial top 3 to 5 team. The Broncos just fixed the only thing that they're missing. So that Broncos situation reminds me a hell of a lot of what the Rams just did for Stafford last season. Like they had like all the other pieces in place, and it was just like, we need a good quarterback, and now they got one. So
what I think is a mix of the Rams and the Bengals, because you think about that Bengals, like they lost a lot of that first season when they had Burrow. They lost a lot of games by like one score. Well, that's what the Broncos literally just went through this year. They lost, I think it was like, I want to say like 8 games was by one score.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And now you have someone that is much more dynamic at the quarterback spot that can get the ball to your receivers. And they got some dog ass receivers.
They got 3 good ones. Yeah.
So it's
good.
You got a dog ass defense, a decent running back. Like that division is going to be scary next year.
Right. And then the Chargers just got so much more. I mean, Khalil Mack's still a beast. Their D just got, solidified a little bit. And I think their offense they re-signed, what's his name, Mike Williams, that receiver that went out this year.
They got
him, Keenan Allen. I think Mike Williams and Herbert are only going to get better. So it's just like, they're going to be fun to watch, man.
That team is going to be nice, bro.
I don't even know. I mean, I want to say the Chiefs off the bat just because they've showed the most, obviously. Like, they'd be my favorites. But, like, oh, my God. All the other 2 teams. The Raiders, I still think, are a step back, but they're still a really good team, possible playoff team. The other 2 are right there, though. Like, I can't. That's like a shot in the dark for me. Any 3 of those teams could rattle off, like, a 13, 14-game season to me.
Right. Yeah. Right. So, it'll be interesting, man. Definitely going to be interesting.
Yeah, bro. Was there any other quarterback movement? Aaron Rodgers stayed.
He is staying and getting the bag.
Were you surprised?
No, I'm not surprised. I think it just kind of through the season last year, him and Gutekunst was able to really kind of reconcile a lot of the issues that was going on over the summer. So not surprised. But I am happy that the drama is over.
Yeah.
It was just becoming too much.
And I think they tagged Devontae, so he's back.
Yeah, they did franchise Devontae. I mean, so everything. I mean, again, everything is there. He just has to produce in the playoffs.
Exactly. That was my thing. As soon as I heard it, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I mean, cool for you guys, but you're at the point now where you just had 2 13-win seasons. And it just didn't work out. Like, they're at a point as a franchise where it's just like championship or bust. If you ask me, like anything short of that's just a disappointment.
Like, they're not even making it to the Super Bowl.
No.
Like, exactly. Get to they didn't even make it to their conference championship.
Yeah, this year was a sorry ass performance from them. That game against the 49ers. I mean, credit to the 49ers, but fuck, they like the Packers went out there and laid an egg that game.
It was terrible. It was terrible. It did. It wasn't good. Maybe they didn't find a way to like not play at home.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they just don't.
When they won the Super Bowl, they won like 8 games that season and ran away in the away games.
It was all away games. Maybe it's just like that cold and everything. It's just not what you think it is. Maybe they just not need to be at home, bro.
Yeah, bro. I don't know. They got to figure that out. You're right. Petition for them to like win like 9 games.
If be on the board, like get about 10 games, barely make it in, and then go on the run. Like, okay, we ain't got to be at home. Cool, we can be in some warm weather.
Yeah. So that pretty much shuts down the NFC North again. I feel like they're just going to run that back. I don't think they're going to be much different.
No, I mean, I think they can get a little bit better with their line.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I mean, I don't think their O-line would have to say that, but I don't think it's going to change much. They're still going to be really good.
Can they break through though? Like, I have no faith in that just from like what I have seen in recent years,
Yeah. I mean, well, that depending on what the Bucks do, I mean, they're probably not going to be as competitive.
Mm-mm.
We don't know where things are going to land with the Niners, but I mean, their defense is just going to carry them a lot. Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, obviously the division is theirs, but I don't know. I don't know what the difference could be other than maybe they just finally like break through and it's just the timing is right. And but it's just the repetitive, like looking like a complete different team in the playoffs every single year thing is like crazy. I mean, 2 years ago, they looked good. They went down to the wire of the NFC Championship game, but at the end there, I don't know. They just go from a team in the regular season that they look like an automatic offense that just goes right down the field and scores on everyone. And then that just seems to, I don't know if players just key up more in the playoffs and like, they got more time to just zone in on what they do, but I don't know. It's like they get exposed.
I don't know. What you think about that trade with Cooper?
Oh my God. That was a steal for the Browns, man.
So the thing is right, but then it's also like because the Browns just now opened it up for Landry to go and seek a trade.
Mm-hmm. That's so weird when you hear that. Like that's always like the status. It'll be like they have allowed him to go request or seek a trade. So what? They're not looking for one, but like if he finds an offer, like they'll entertain it. Is that what that means?
Yeah, I just think it's weird. It's like, well, why does he need to go seek a trade? Like if you had Amari Cooper and Jarvis Landry, don't you want that? No. You don't want that?
I agree with you.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Donovan Peoples-Jones is starting to come into his own and starting to develop. Maybe they just want to kind of see that. But it's like I don't know. I thought that was just super weird.
I'm in the same boat as you. It's like, okay, we got Amari, so now you can leave. I think that'd be a good duo. And you need as much talent as you can have around Baker because he did not look very promising last year. Mm-hmm. So, do you think they stick with him?
I think this year they do stick with them, but then if it doesn't come up anything, they're probably going to be looking for a quarterback.
Going to move on, man.
And he's gonna go somewhere else that like.
I don't know, bro. I maybe he'll have a bounce back year, but last year he just didn't look good. Like. He looked like he was just missing wide open like routes. Like people were just wide open.
I mean, we saw the clip that Odell's dad posted, man. Mm-hmm. He was completely missing the guy. Yeah. It's like one of your top receivers in the league still, and you're just completely missing him. So, and then the Cowboys told who was it? Is it Landon Collins or Lyle Collins. What is his name? Lyle Collins. They told him that he can go and seek a trade.
Oh, really? Is he the line?
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. Yeah, their line is not what it was. That's kind of like an old
not at all.
Park,
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. So it'll be crazy. And then what's the name just signed a dumbass contract with the Raiders though.
Who's that?
The kid Crosby from Eastern Michigan.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he got a 4-year, $95 million.
What position does he play?
DN.
Damn, from Eastern? Shout out. That's pretty sweet.
He got 53 of it guaranteed.
God damn. Yeah, it's just that type of year, man. Do you think quarterback wise, since it's a small draft, like who teams that are needing a quarterback, who are they keying in on? Because the Saints have a late pick, and I was hoping for that Kenny Pickett guy, but I don't think he's going to be there by the time.
So there was Pickett, and then there was some interest in the the quarterback from maybe Carolina. But then there's also some interest from the quarterback from Liberty, Malik. What is his name? Hubert or something like that. I think his name is.
He teared it up last year.
I mean, he's playing at a lower level, but like he was just really high on a lot of draft scouts board, and so I mean, he looks pretty nice. But I don't know. I mean, he looked good in the combine. And then the thing with Pickett, they were talking about like his hands are small. I think he was like 8 1/4.
Oh, really?
Which is relatively small. So that's them measuring from here to here is 8 1/4. And they said that was that would be by far the smallest hands of any quarterback in the league right now.
Really? Holy shit! I played good. I don't care if you got little hands, bro. I like that fake slide movie pulled. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and then they banned that shit.
Yeah, that kind of pissed me off. Why the fuck not?
Like, because he would get destroyed. You trying to kill him? Because next time they're not gonna go for it. They're just gonna blast his ass.
But he didn't go down. He just like did that little like that knee.
Yeah, but the defensive players
and then he ran. That was awesome, bro.
That was because the defenders gave up because they thought it was gonna go down, but then they go.
Yeah. Like,
so the quarterback from what's his name is Sam Howell. He did, but did you see the one? Who was it? Was it the DB or the receiver that ran that 4.23 40?
That was nuts, bro.
And then some of these linemen, like that big dude from Georgia, ran like a 4.79. Like, bro, he 300 pounds running like. Come on, man.
That's so nuts, bro. Just that body control at that size. Like
just to get off, I'm like, that's insane, bro.
Yeah.
That's insane.
No.
It's crazy. Just imagine him running after you like, I'm good.
Right.
I'm good.
And I passed that threshold now where these kids are all younger than me. So I'm looking at these people like, wow, you're like, I'm pathetic, bro. Like, this is I used to look up to them. Now I'm like, holy shit, I'm older than these people.
Right. That part. Crazy. That part. Man. So crazy.
Also, the Calvin Ridley thing. Did you see anything else on that?
I haven't seen anything else about it, but so I am a bit curious. So he's saying that it was just like a $1,500 bet.
Mm-hmm.
Right, which
I don't know. It may have been multiple, but I think it added up to 1,500. Like, it was like 3 bets that added up to 1,500. Is what he said. Yeah. And
so I think the other piece was that he stated was that like it didn't. It wasn't like he was betting on himself or anything like that. He was just betting on the games.
Yeah, he wasn't playing. Remember, he didn't play like much last year.
So I don't know. I'm really curious that they gave him a whole year for. So I like, do they have a permanent thing to where like players cannot bet on the game?
I think so, and that's my only thing because I see it both ways. Like, even though it would be really fucked up, if he was playing and like betting on the games, like that would be, but he wasn't. But at the same time, if that's the rule, like you just like
you can't do that, bro.
Yeah, like what are you doing, bro?
Because you lost $11 million for a summation of $1,500 or $1,500 bet like that. As it's saying, so you're hustling backwards, bro.
Exactly. Yeah. Have your fucking wife or parents do that for you, or a sibling, and just collect
like
that
something. But like, come on, bro, be smarter than that. So
yeah, that's too bad. That was bizarre last year, though. Remember, he was out like all year for like they just had like personal reasons. Like they didn't like it was. Like, I don't know what was even going on with them.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. So, did you hear these rumors that AB had been working out with like Lamar?
Yeah, I did. They're boys. Like they're really tight. That'd be cool.
I mean, it would be. He could use the help.
I think like he's gonna keep playing, even though like you can totally make an argument like he's a huge distraction. But like I think he's still got shit in the tank, and like. But do you trust it if you're an owner or a GM? Like, do you want him in your locker room after everything you've seen?
I think what it comes down to is just the relationship that he has, right? I think he may just have a really good relationship with Lamar to where it won't be, I don't know, that much of a distraction. And then maybe it's just the relationship that he had with Bruce Arians and everything, where he may not. I think Harbaugh seems to really have great relationships with his players. So I don't know if he would. I don't know if he would run into that same type of situation.
Yeah, I agree. It's just tough because I also, after a year with Brady, I was like, look, he's straightened out. Like now he's like a model locker room player, and he's like doing his thing. I don't care if you're like flamboyant, like going crazy, like like there's a lot of players that are like characters, and that's awesome. But it's just like they're running off the field and shit during a game. Like I'm like what are you doing, bro? Like
it was a bit much. It was a bit much.
That was like a bit much. That was like, this is the me show. Like everyone look at me. And it's like, man. Like, but what can you do, dog? Like I think he's definitely talented enough to keep getting shots. It's not like they're gonna just completely not let him play. So we'll see. That'd be interesting.
We're talking about the NFL. He's not in the NFL, but so have you? I don't know if you follow Deion Sanders on Instagram.
Yeah, dude, he's scary, bro. I didn't realize how scary he is. Like when he yells at his players, man, in the locker room.
No, did you just see the surgery he had to have on his foot?
No.
So he had to have. I guess he like somehow like a turf toe injury or something like that. Had continued lingering. He injured it or somehow. He had to get surgery to try to fix it. That ended up getting infected, and he had to get 2 toes amputated.
Oh no way, man!
So they literally show.
Oh god,
what his foot looks like, bro. So that's why, like, it's on his Instagram. So that's why, like, he was in the wheelchair and on that scooter, and like when he was in the locker room walking and everything, and why it was so momentous is because like that was his first time walking since getting those toes removed, bro. It was fucking insane, bro.
Dude, that is wild. That's absolutely
it was insane.
Wild.
They literally, so you got to watch it. It is fucking insane. I was just like, bruh.
Yeah.
Imagine going through that during the middle of your season. And
exactly.
I mean, Jackson State had a pretty successful year. They made it to their bowl game. They lost, but like for them to still get to that point, and he was out most of the season dealing with that.
Yeah, I respect him so much, man. Like hearing him, like those videos of him in the locker room, he just seems like such a player's coach, and like he wants to win so bad, man. Like, did you see that one video? He's like, "If you're on your fucking phone, like you're not playing." I was like, "Holy
but the thing was, that was his son that was his son. Ain't even on the team. It was one of the sons that's not even on the team. He was like, "Oh shit!" Like you just see the camera peer down fast as hell.
He's not playing around.
He's so serious, and I love it. I love the attention that he's bringing to like just the HBCUs.
Exactly.
Because like they showed a video, he posted a video, one of the, like it was like a homecoming game, and just how packed that fucking crowd was. It looked like it was like at Michigan or like or one of these big schools. It was just completely packed, bro.
Yeah,
it was insane, man. Like HBCU homecomings are like it's a completely different vibe, but it was just, I appreciate the attention that he's bringing. He's starting to bring in recruits that are like wanting to come there, right, and try and make some noise. So it's really cool.
And I think he's comfortable in that state. Like he loves what he's doing. In that he's not. He's not aspiring to now move on and like coach on Power 5 school. Like he wants to be there. I've seen him even say, like I saw a quote from him relating to the NFL, and he was like, "My competitive drive would not even let me coach like these NFL players, like." Because I know how hard I worked, and like basically like seeing these like prima donnas get paid $80 million to like fuck around and like not play and shit. He's like, that would drive me crazy. I couldn't even do it. So like, he loves where he is. So that's really cool.
Yeah, you can tell like he's not looking to change. He's just looking to make like a bit of a cultural shift, and just showing that like it does not matter what school you go to. It just matters that you go wherever you go and you ball out.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Whether that's D1, anything, like, I mean, it
doesn't matter. You just got to ball out.
Exactly. Look at Cooper
They'll
Cup,
come,
man. Like,
they'll come. Yeah. They'll legit come to you. You ball out. If you putting up numbers, they'll come and find you.
Exactly, man. It's I would love playing for that dude. I feel like he's just such a player's coach and would just like fire you up so much to like go out there and play your absolute hardest, man. Like that dude.
Yeah.
Got out prime time.
Yeah.
Bro, we got to talk about this NBA. Like it's winding down here and it's getting interesting, man.
It's getting real interesting, man. Your boy over here putting up 50-point games.
Bron is so good at. I texted this to Ricari yesterday. I was like, Bron is so good at staying relevant, even when his team is like not fucking relevant. Like, just like, you know what? I'm gonna drop 50 back to back,
just so I can get people talking about me.
Yeah, man.
Like, bruh, what are they, like 10 games below 8 games below 500? Come on now.
It's so bad. I mean, at this point, it's almost like he should just go Kobe mode and just try to put up 40 every game, because that seems to be the only way they can win, bro. They're just not.
It's just exhausting. Like, that has to be exhausting. Not to mention, he's still like that knee is still injured.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the only thing they said that's gonna help his knee is rest.
Yeah, I mean, he's Iron Man, bro. Like that dude is just. I mean,
it's insane, man.
You get what you pay for, and like I think they report like he spends like $1 million or $1.5 million on like his body every year. Like that's just. He invests in himself. Now, do you think I was talking to my boy there and we were just joking around? And I was like, because you know these players, I think they're all just private contractors, right? They're like 1099 employees. Like that's probably how
NBA
players, like they're just like,
yeah,
you know, they just get a yeah. So he's probably like LeBron James LLC or LeBron whatever. Like, can he write off like all the shit he spends on his body? Just like this is part of my fucking business. You know what I mean?
I don't see why he couldn't be able to, but.
Like his chefs and his trainers and all that shit. Like, is that just like? I know he.
Well, you know what? No. These players, so they're not. I don't know if they are. You know what? They would have to be because they don't get insurance through the organization. So yeah, they probably have to be, or maybe it's just not a part of the NBA collective bargaining agreement where they get insurance. I'm really not sure because I do know from a tax standpoint. So for every game that they played not in their home state, they have to pay. You know, they have to pay that state and that city's taxes, right? So, but a lot of these states have agreements in place to where, like, it's a agreed upon percentage that they would pay, so that way it's not as harsh as some others.
So it's just like uniform across the board, and they don't have to worry about paying.
Well, it's not uniform; they just may have certain agreements, right? Okay. So, like Michigan and like Indiana has a certain agreement to where it's leveled at like a certain amount of what they would pay. Yeah. Or, you know, like Chicago may have an agreement with some places because, you know, if you play in Chicago, not only are you paying the state tax, but you also got a city tax that you got to pay as well.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So
there's somewhere like if you're in Texas, there's no state tax. So
correct. Right. Yeah. So they have those agreements in place to where they making sure that those taxes are being paid by those players.
Yeah. There's no way they're like W-2 guys. They got to be just like
they would have to. But I don't know. I would be surprised if he would be able to kind of do that. I mean, they may just kind of take it as like, bro, that's just you taking care of yourself. Like, I understand that you're your brand, but like, we can't pay you for feeding yourself correctly. Like that, we can't reimburse you.
Are they the same as football players? Where like, what's the deal with that? Like, are they cautioned not to like go play ball like in the street or anything like that, or like do crazy shit that could like injure themselves, like go skiing and random shit like that? Isn't that like a big thing with NFL players?
Sure that they have clauses in their contracts to where they can do it. And so, we're supposed to have my homeboy on that played for the Globetrotters, and I'm assuming that they may have had like a similar contract with him, so we probably ask him.
Yeah, we'll do that.
What that looks like. But I would assume that they have to have something. And now, granted, like, if they're having a run right there and like one of those LA runs that they have up at like Lifetime or something like that, I don't think it's like those extracurricular things that you may be trying to get into where you get injured, right? Where it's like, you remember how like Jay Williams injured himself on that motorcycle, got into that motorcycle accident, could never play again.
Yeah.
So I think things like that.
For sure. Because I mean, remember Lamar? Wasn't he getting shit earlier this season for like playing pickup basketball or something like that? Do you remember that?
Was it Lamar?
I thought it was Lamar.
No,
Jackson.
it wasn't. No, it wasn't Lamar. It was Myles Garrett.
What was he doing? Was he
playing basketball?
Okay, gotcha.
And they were like,
celebrity All-Star game. That's funny.
But he was showing out too.
Yeah, he's huge, bro.
He's fucking huge, throwing down windmills and shit. Like, come on, dog. He's a fucking monster.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
You just cut out. Where'd you go, Mo? Oh, there you are. You see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
You said KD something?
Yeah, KD just dropped that 50 piece earlier today on the Knicks.
Damn, bro. He's balling, man.
They looked that game against the Sixers. They came ready for that game. You can tell like they treated it as like it was a playoff game.
Yeah, and Embiid and Harden did not like rise to that game. They just struggled.
Well, I feel like Embiid did because he shot damn near like 20 free throws that game.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right? It's just Harden. I think they say Kyrie being a primary defender on him, he was 1 for 8.
Wow.
So I think Kyrie kind of took it personal.
Huh. Hell yeah.
And speaking of Kyrie, dog, we have got to talk about how dumb this fucking mandate is in New York. So now he can go to games as a pedestrian.
Yeah, but he can't play.
But he can't play. He was literally at the game today, sitting courtside, and then he was at the ACC game when Duke was playing for the ACC championship, sitting courtside. So you could go into the arena as a regular citizen, but you cannot go as a player and play. How does that make sense, bro?
That's got to be changed in the next like 2 weeks, man.
It absolutely makes no sense.
Yeah,
and he can go in there unmasked.
Yep, exactly. Like
not being vaccinated. So like, make it make sense, bro.
It doesn't. There's nothing you can say.
It's got to be the dumbest shit, bro.
Oh, they're gonna. I have faith they'll get that figured out before the playoffs. Though I don't want like asterisks. I don't want it to be like, oh, he couldn't play like this or that. Like, nah. Like, I want Kyrie to play, man. Like, I'm really interested now, especially in that matchup now in the playoffs. I need those teams to meet. Like, that's what I'm like. Most excited
it would be so spicy. But I mean, we got to just acknowledge the fact that like Milwaukee has been looking really good. Boston has been looking crazy. Tatum been going nuts lately.
Didn't someone just handle Milwaukee? Like last year, was it Golden State?
Oh yeah, they gave
Clay dropped like 38 or something.
Yeah, it was about time. Shit, he been struggling, man.
Yeah, man. I didn't think he would. Which is really stupid because he had 2 years off. But for some reason, I was like, yeah, his game's not really predicated on being athletic. Like he'll just get right back into the groove. But he has struggled. You're right.
But I think a lot of it is just like his shots are. When I've been watching him play, his shots are short, and it's like he doesn't have any lift on them. Mm-hmm. And so that's a lot of with your legs and everything. But the other day, he looked good. And I think a lot of it was too before. Like it didn't seem like he was. Normally Clay has really good balance with his shot and everything. Everything is just really formed, and he just wasn't. I wasn't seeing that. Like he wasn't really balanced with his feet. He was shooting these off kilter shots, off angle shots, and it's like that's not you. You're someone that has your balance, has your legs under you, and has that lift in the shot. And he just.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I've noticed the same thing watching him play. He looks like a different player. Like he doesn't take that standard set. He and Ray Allen both have that shot where it's like you look at it and you're like, that is beautiful. That looks like what a teacher would teach you to shoot. And you're right. Now he's shooting off like one leg and shit sometimes. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Where did that come from? Right.
And I'm like, you got to. So he did look much better yesterday. Jordan Poole's been really coming along.
Yeah.
Now they just need, once they get Draymond in, get him back, Wiseman back, we'll see how things gonna look. But yeah,
I mean, can anyone challenge Phoenix in the West? They look.
I mean, I think fantastic. They just look, and they've been balling. Even without Chris Paul, bro, they've just been balling.
It's just every player on that team is solid and knows like what they're supposed to do, man. Like,
right. It's a real constructed team, but then they're just also fucking well coached.
Yeah,
like. Monty Williams is a dog of a fucking coach, bro.
He is, bro. He really is. He keeps them all like emotionally like even keeled. You look at every player on that team and usually every team I look at, I'm like, that guy's kind of a liability when he comes in, like whatever. He's more of just like a filler player. They don't have any filler players to me. Every player on that team, I'm like, Campaign could get you like 12 to fucking 20 if he's having a good night. Mikal Bridges, same thing. Like all these dudes, you're like, they just fill in their role when they need to and they do what they're supposed to do.
That's a well put together team. It is a
great defense too, man.
That's nice. But I think if Golden State can get Draymond back and get Wiseman, I mean,
that'd be a good series.
Oh, it would be a dog series, man. I'd love to see that matchup. I really would. But I mean, and then the Grizzlies, like Ja is Dude is fucking.
He is, man, and I love watching them, and I would love to see them like make a run. I just think they're a piece away. Like I just feel like they need one more dude on like the wing that can fucking
because them starting Zaire, starting Zaire Williams just it doesn't do enough.
No,
right, and I think a lot of it is because what's the guy's name that's on their squad? He's been out pretty much all season. I don't know if he's going to be gone for the rest of the season. I
don't know.
Dylan Brooks.
Yes, he's coming back.
He's been,
right?
I think he's supposed to be coming back. So having him coming back, but he's just missed a lot of games. But having him come back, I mean, that completely changes everything for them. It does,
because he's a scorer.
He is. He's a scorer, a really good defender. And it just balances things so much to where it's like you really can't help off. Like you can help off of Zaire, and they're not going to do much. But like adding him into that mix, and there is a complete different team though, because you think about those Memphis teams when Zach Randolph,
Gasol, OJ
Mayo, Conley,
Rudy Gay,
like those teams were just dog teams, man. They were just gritty teams. I mean, there's a grind and grit guys, you know what I mean? And that team, and this team is just high flying, throwing alleys, athletic, get up and down the court. Like they are it's a completely different. It almost reminds me a little bit of like the Clippers with Lob City, but like they're throwing lobs to Morant though.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
guards are going up and getting it. It's nuts. Who does he remind you of? Is it Allen Iverson? Is it Derrick Rose? Like I think
it's a mix between those two. It's a mix between Iverson and Derrick Rose because he has that explosiveness in attacking style of D Rose, but he has that handle in the scoring ability like AI. That dude is just nice, man.
He is, bro.
Did you hear what he said? Oh, go ahead.
No, I didn't have anything. What do you say?
I was gonna say, like, did you see what he said when they asked him about being in the dunk contest next year?
Mm-mm.
He was like, the rim too low.
Dude, he would be so good. Him versus Levine in a dunk contest.
Dog, how crazy is that? How you just go come out and say like the rim too low?
Yeah, that's a flex right there.
Like, serious flex, bro.
Badass thing you can say.
Serious flex.
Hey, him and Levine would be a great dunk contest.
It would be, but Levine is like, I'm good. I don't need to.
Yeah, I don't. Did he win too? Did he win best?
Yeah, he won too. He won too. I don't think he. I mean, you just got to get these guys in there where it's like, what are y'all doing? Come on.
No,
like,
exactly.
Get like Derrick Jones back. Get him back in there. Zion, he need to worry about losing some weight. So,
do you think at some point you just run out of dunk ideas though? Like, do you think that's ever a factor?
I mean, I think it's just guys not just being creative enough.
That's a whole thing in itself, man. As someone that can't dunk, but if I could, I'm just sitting there thinking like they come up with some crazy ass shit. Like how much of that can you like? Come
on, think about. I mean, you think about the shit that like Aaron Gordon did, right? He bring the mascot out. He put the mascot on the hoverboard, and then the mascot is spinning. And the fact that you have to time that so fucking perfectly well, right? And then he does the one where he puts it that has a mascot, grabs it from jumps over the mascot, grabs it from and dunk. Like you have to get creative. Exactly. You got to just think about shit to do. And I think they just have to press the creativity. But I do like what Kenny Anderson suggested for so it was like, you know how like you may go to the court or whatever and you got a homeboy that like can show out, right? And he was like, I want to have it to where we get NBA guys that back a dunker that they like. My dude is a dunker, like he's that awesome guy, right? And it's backed by an NBA player, and let those guys show out on the court.
That'd be really cool. Just someone no one knows about.
No one knows about, but it's like, hey, this is LeBron's guy, right?
Yeah.
Right, or this Kyrie's guy, like just having guys that are backed up by these NBA players, and then whoever wins, they get like a bag for it or whatever, right?
That'd be sweet.
That'd be pretty dope. So
I would enjoy that for sure. They got to bring something back because that last one was brutal. Like
it was trash.
That turned people off for sure.
It was super trash.
Yeah. Hell no. So what's like you're like looking at it though? I think we got 10 games left now. So who are your? To me, it's like Warriors and Suns out of the West, and I'm thinking I don't know how it would play out, but I think the best two teams right now are going to be Chicago and Brooklyn in the East. That's who I've got as my two top.
So you got about like 15 games left. I would say in the East, I mean, I feel like Brooklyn is starting to come along. It's for me, it's three teams, and I know it probably sucks that I'm not picking two, but it's with Philly, Milwaukee, and the Nets.
Mm-hmm.
Those teams are them in them whole selves, and I know it's like they're not always the Brooklyn Nets are not always whole, but them in their whole self is probably the most talented team.
Yeah. So do you think Chicago will flame out in like the first or second round? Like they're just not gonna.
I don't think so. I mean, they've already dropped to the number 4. They dropped to the 4th seed.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And they're only a half game above Boston. And Boston is like those guys are coming. They're coming.
Yeah, man. There's some good teams out east now, man. Now that I'm thinking about it, like it's just like all those series are going to be pretty good. You know,
it's going to be tight.
Out west is kind of the cool thing too. It's like we got a lot of like low seeded teams that still have like stars on them or whatever, like the Lakers or and like so we're gonna have good matchups from round 1 all the way up to the end. So
yeah, like those playing games are gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Those playing games are gonna be real. It's gonna be interesting, man. You got because how's it set right now? You would have Atlanta playing Charlotte.
Yep.
And then the Nets having to travel to Toronto, which Kyrie can't play in there just because of Canada's mandates. So, like, you don't know what's going to happen with that as far as who would be the 7th seed.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm Brooklyn, I would want to lose that game. I don't know if I would want to start out going up against Milwaukee in the first round.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, I'd rather have Miami.
Damn, yeah. Looking at this Eastern Conference, you're right. Just seemed like that Brooklyn's gonna have to be in that playing game. That's crazy.
I mean, they're not granted. They're only 3.5 games back, and there's 15 games left. And Cleveland just lost Jarrett, so they could potentially make it out.
Mm-hmm.
But if they go in that 6th seed, then that means that they're probably gonna. I mean, could play anybody between Philly, Chicago, and Boston.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be a good playoffs, man. All the teams are excited.
It is. It's gonna be a dog ass. What's the name? I can't wait.
So, do you have a favorite?
I would say my favorite right now is probably Milwaukee for the East, and I'm gonna have to go with the Suns. I mean, they've been so dominant and so cohesive all year. That team is just they're well put together.
Yeah, and is Chris Paul? What's the deal with him? Is he supposed to be back before playoffs?
Yeah, he should be back before playoffs. They said he's going to be out, like I think for the rest of the regular season. So
okay, and AD, is he supposed to come back? Do we have any idea what's going on with him?
They said when they really evaluate him, they said it's going to be like 4 to 6 weeks. So if he comes back, it's only going to be for like maybe those last couple of games that they play.
Gotcha. Yeah, a lot of storylines, man. It's Milwaukee's hard to go against. I don't know why. I just like Chicago. I think they're gonna. I don't think they're as good as Brooklyn, but I think they might surprise you this year. That's
maybe. So who's your MVP?
Damn. Bro, like I almost want to throw Ja up there, man. Like I'm just like, even though it's like a random ass spot and he's like the second, he's not the first seed. Like I look at him and I'm like, he has made that team what it is. They've got some nice pieces, but that dude is fucking crazy, man. Absolutely nuts. And then I don't think DeMar can be up there anymore because they dropped, like you said, they're a little low, which is unfortunate. I don't think it should matter on your seed so much, but it does. And I don't know. I'm gonna say, yeah, Ja is mine.
Ja.
I don't know if he's gonna win it, but like if I'm like looking at the landscape, like I think he should. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, I think it's got to be Joel.
Yeah,
dude has just been going fucking crazy.
Is he still leading in scoring too?
I don't think so. No, LeBron is. Him, Giannis, and Joel are tied for first.
Okay.
So, but
Damn,
yeah, I just
wow.
I can't imagine. Like Joel's just been balling. I think Giannis is up there.
Yeah.
Ja, I think is up there.
I think
And then,
Giannis won't win because of just voter fatigue, honestly.
yeah, and then Jokic too. I mean, dude has just been putting up fucking dumbass numbers, and I think he's doing this without like his sidekick, bro. Like Jamal Murray still is not back.
Yeah, dude, I need to see Luka and Jokic play together at some point, and I just think their styles, that slow ass white dude, like that just busts everyone up, like they would just kill it together. Both great passers, like. We need to find a way to make that trade happen. Like, they get together. They would just
that would be a very skilled duo between those two.
right.
It'd be a very skilled duo.
Do it all, guys. You know, like fuck.
It would be a very skilled duo. Very skilled.
I can't. You know, their record obviously doesn't have them up there, but I agree. Like Jokic is just insane, man. So watching him move just up and down the court with the ball is just like he looks so slow, but like he's moving with the pace of everyone else. Like it's
yeah, like crazy. The thing is that he just moves at his own. He moves at his own pace, and he's such a wide body that you got to get around him. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, but it's funny, but like, because if you ever see that, like, you think he's really big, but then like you see him in jeans, you like he's really not really that big. Like you see him in clothes, and you're like, he really is not that big, but he just looks huge. Which I mean, fuck, he's a 7-foot human being, so let's not like he's not a huge human being. But for him being a 7-foot guy, he's not really all that big.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. He can do everything, man. He can do everything. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna ask you, so who's your rookie of the year?
Cade, for sure.
Yeah.
I think his poise, I just watch him, I'm like, okay, like he's actually like confident with it too.
He is coming, like he started out kind of slow, but like as the season kind of progressed, it just started to click, bro.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And then the number of like 25, 5-5 games that he's had more 20-point games than any other rookie. And they just talk about his effect on the game. I mean, the only other person I think you could really probably make a case for is Mobley, just because of his impact on the Cavs and their winning. But I think if he doesn't win, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, and I really like Mobley. He's a dog, especially defensively too. People are like, he's just like a high energy.
He's so long, bro. He's so long.
Both those teams have a lot of promise, man. More so right now, Cleveland's like showing it, but like Detroit, like honestly, like if they don't fuck it up, I like the direction they're going in. Good, you know? Yeah,
it starts. They just need some more star power. Mm-hmm. They definitely do. But I like Bagley has been balling since he's came on board. Mm-hmm. They just won. I would honestly love it if they would just go ahead, put Cade at the 1, get another wing, get a shooter, and then you have that way you have Sadiq Bey, you got Grant, you got Bagley, and they just need some height because Stewart, I mean, he's a big guy, but he's not tall. He's 6'8". Exactly. Right? Yeah. And I think they need the height because he's not much of a shot blocker.
Yeah.
So they need someone that's tall and got some bounce to him.
Exactly. They need some rim protection, some more guys on the boards. But yeah. Good direction. Did you see kind of switching gears? Covington just fucking dominated Masvidal, man. That was I mean, we kind of called that.
We called it.
Yeah. I didn't watch the fight. I watched the highlights afterwards, but it looked exactly like how it was supposed to go. Covington is superior as a wrestler, you know?
He is. And once he got him on the ground, it was a wrap.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, not to mention, he wasn't even throwing hands, really.
No, he really wasn't.
He landed way more than Masvidal did. It was, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know if it's age or what, but he just seems like he's kind of slowing down a little bit, unfortunately, because I'm a big fan. 2 things for both those guys. Potential next fights. Covington's calling out Poirier. I think that'd be an interesting fight. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that'd be cool.
That'd be good. That'd be good.
They're both, up there, and I'd say they're both at least top 4, the both of them in that division. And then Masvidal, because he's kind of stuff. But like, what if like he fought Connor when like Connor came back? Like that would be an interesting. Like I think that's such like a Connor versus Cowboy, like the same type of thing. They're gonna put him up against a dude that's like a big name but kind of getting older and like
yeah.
Connor could beat him, and then people are gonna be like, "Oh, Connor's back." Exactly.
Oh Jesus! Did you hear what Jake Paul said?
Was like he'd fight Connor.
He said he would beat Connor in MMA or boxing.
Yeah. He gave like a proposal that like he'd fight Connor in the MMA, and if he lost, he'd donate his whole purse to like the fighters or something like that. Yeah, he's that dude's crazy, man.
He's trying to get this bag because he knows that Connor bag would be serious. That Connor bag would be serious.
Connor would fuck him right up in the octagon, bro. That would be. Oh my god, I feel like that would just be so quick. You know, like.
You think so?
I'd pay for it for sure. I definitely would. That'd be a good night.
I'd pay for that for sure.
I would. You don't think it would be quick? I mean, I know Connor's older and whatnot, but come on, like a UFC fighter is a completely what ground experience? Well, I think the Paul brothers were wrestlers in high school, but I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, that's a big. You got to think too. That's a lot. That's a big weight difference.
Yeah, he's a lot bigger than Connor, isn't
he? He's huge. Yeah. He's like, what is he like? 6'1" or something. Yeah, like 200 something pounds. Like that's a big dude. Like, what would be the agreed weight? Like 185?
Yeah, they do a catch weight for sure. Connor looks fucking big. Have you seen him recently? Like, he's like yoked up.
Yeah, but I don't know how well that bodes for him as far as like trying to fight.
I think that's just another thing for like social media. Like, look at me, I'm fucking huge now, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh,
but that ain't gonna help you in these boxing matches."
No, I don't think so, man. He's about done. I think this is like it. Like, if he loses again, like it's just gonna be like, okay, like, the mustard's gonna be gone. But his fans, bro, they'll follow him to the end of the world. That's for sure.
I don't understand why. Yeah. So it is March.
Yeah,
March Madness is upon us.
It is. When's the bracket? So, because I just saw
it comes out today. They're going to do the selection piece for it for both the men's and women's tonight. So It'll be interesting. Who do you? I mean, I know you don't follow college too much, but do you have anybody that like?
Yeah, I saw Tennessee won the SEC today.
SEC. Yeah, they won the SEC.
So does that make them the first seed in one of the quadrants, or how does that work?
Tennessee? No, I don't think that they'll make it to the one line. Probably the team that's probably in the one line at the moment would probably be Gonzaga, Auburn, Baylor.
Okay.
And
Arizona.
Probably Arizona will probably be your one seed.
I'm kind of with you, bro. Just looking at it, like, I mean, Arizona's scary. Like they're a really
that team they're long. They can score. They're fast. The thing is that they lost a starting point guard.
Mm-hmm.
He's injured. I don't know how long he's supposed to be down or whatever, but he's injured. So it'd be interesting. But like those teams, not Baylor,
Baylor's 3.
Yeah, but they lost. Yeah, it probably could be Baylor. It could be Baylor for sure.
Kentucky's had a good year, huh? They're kind of back.
Yeah, no, they had a really solid year this year.
I'm
so we'll have
these teams like who's going to be the one that gets bounced in the first round. It happens every week, you know?
It always is what we're going to have to do a bracket challenge.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because it's always like a couple of teams, and it's always, I feel like that 5-12 seed, like those 5 and 12 matchups, it always happen.
Yeah.
And there's always typically like that 1-2-14 seed where somebody goes down.
There's 1-2 seed every year.
It never fails. It never fails. Like I think the biggest shocker that there was remember when Michigan State lost.
State and Duke.
And Duke lost. They both lost when they were 2 seeds.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to kind of see what kind of falls out there. But
one of them your boy should rise to one of these teams that no one talks about. It's about to make it to like the Sweet 16 or something. Everyone's gonna be like, "Who the fuck is this team?" They're playing.
Like, where did this come from?
Yeah,
there's a team that as a matter of fact, I was watching their championship game. I forget the name of the team, but they have a guy that played at Kansas. They had the Silva that I don't know if you remember this. He played at Kansas and he ended up getting kicked out because he got into that altercation at the end of the game when they started fighting. I'm pretty sure he picked up a chair or something and started throwing shit.
Oh, shit.
So like he ended up getting kicked out, but he got picked up by this team and they won on like a half court shot to win the game. That team could be kind of dangerous because of his size alone. Like the dude is like 6'10", 6'11", just NBA size, right? But he's at a mid-major, so I don't think that they'd be intimidated of these other teams that may have bigger teams because they can match up with them.
Gotcha. So they could make a run.
They could potentially make a run. I think it's just going to be dependent upon their guard play. But I think the team that honestly I think is like the scariest team in all of this is who was it? Oh, why am I drawing a blank?
Is it like a lower ranked team?
It's a team that's not even Vermont.
Okay. They're not ranked.
No, they're not ranked. They're kind of like in those teams that are like getting votes, but they're not ranked. But bro, they ran through their entire league. And like in the conference and then in the championship game, they beat every team by 30 plus points.
Oh, okay. So they're like riding high.
They're clicking, bro. They're clicking. And they can score, they can put up buckets. So that team, it could be kind of dangerous, man. That team can definitely be pretty dangerous.
Hell yeah. I'll have to watch out for that. But yeah, we should make one. We should go through it when it's finalized next week or something.
We definitely got to. So other thing I want to talk to you about was the MLB.
Yeah, they
and them coming out of this, what is it, month-long, probably longer than that, lockout?
Yep. The owners kind of caved, just from what I understand. They kind of like a little bit.
They really didn't cave.
No.
They didn't cave. They got what they wanted and gave the players like a little. They just gave them a little bit more of the revenue share.
Okay.
But they got what they wanted. They got 2 more teams added to the playoffs, right? So now those are more teams that can make it to the playoffs that get additional monies for that. Mm-hmm. And then that also generates more money for the MLB because now you have another game that needs to be played.
Yep.
And then they also agreed that like the National League, I think, is going to be one of the leagues is going to be adopting the designated hitter. So no longer that the pitcher will have to hit. So they're adopting that. But the MLB, the players, that's really all that they got was just like they got a little bit more of the revenue share. And then like they got a little bit more freedom as far as like with free agency stuff, but it's more so from what I was reading, it seemed a little bit more tailored to like the top talent, not that mid-level talent that like makes up the bulk of what the MLB is. Yeah. So the players got a little bit, but the owners really just if you're deciding like who won it, it's still the owners.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's hard because I don't know what the average player makes, but was their big argument as the players they wanted more of the revenue share? Was that the big?
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing because they see what's happening in the NBA and in the NFL, right? Where like these players have a little bit more say in things, and they don't.
They don't. They do get a lot of money, though.
They do get a lot of money for sure. Right. So they do get a lot of money, but the players are like, no, we need a little bit more say in these collective, in this. And so the owners gave them a little bit. So it'll be interesting what happens when this next collective bargaining agreement comes around. But they were able to still save their season. So they're still going to have that 162 games, which Jesus, the season is just way too fucking long.
It is a long fucking season. It should be starting soon, right?
But now they're going to push it back. It's not starting until like the end of March or something like that. So they're going to they've already reported to spring training. I think it's mandatory starting today. And then they'll start like with some of their summer league or spring league games. And then opening day will probably be like late March, early April.
Okay. Cool. Play ball, man. We're back. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's nuts. All right, my man. You got anything else?
Nah, I don't really got anything else. I'm just about to say here. Hopefully, Michigan makes it to the tournament because we're definitely on the bubble.